So I heard these individuals running away. I hollered for them to stop, just wasn't going to approach them or anything, but I wanted to somehow stall whoever until the police arrived. So in between that time, people start showing up from down the road, but I was asking these individuals, told them get down,
Right.
in the most authoritative voice I could to hold them up, just to stall. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't threaten them with anything. Didn't say I'll do this to you. I didn't nothing. So I asked them, how old they were, who they were, where they were from. Well, they were teenagers and they were from out of town.
Right.
I said, right, okay. Somebody dropped you off to hit the neighborhood.
All right.
Yeah, trick or treat. Okay, these people from next door show up. One is highly intoxicated, the man,
Okay.
and I know he's highly intoxicated because just his appearance. And Joshua got my son witnessed all the events that I'm describing. He got in close proximity, smelled the alcohol on him.
And real quick, why was Josh having to be in such close proximity to this?
No, this individual was standing out on the street hollering, accusing, making accusations of me shooting at kids, what was further from anything remotely.
So in other words, for that to be in the same instance of the event night, that word had to get out pretty quick, pretty fast.
Right. So, and then he started lipping off at my wife.
Right.
Everybody at our house was bewildered.
Right.
What in the world is happening? We just wanted to sleep.
Yeah.
We just wanted to sleep, okay? We just wanted to sleep, and we wanted people to leave our stuff alone.
Exactly.
It's been a long day. It's been a long few months. I've been working on this project to actually help teenagers
That's right.
like that. And so anyway, the police shows up, and the responding deputy to me immediately asked, "Did you shoot?" And I'm like, "Okay, are you responding to me or what? Obviously somebody told you there was a shot."
Correct.
So I said, yeah, I shot. I had to shoot whoever. I didn't know who was out here.
Correct.
Away from the vehicle. That's mistake or not. That's what happened.
Now it's not a mistake. Let me make this statement. And let's just say if it was an animal, that was rustling around in there, and you shot a round off to scare the animal.
Right.
And nobody called the cops because it never, like we just noticed in your statement, these neighbors didn't come over. Nobody came over because there's no kids to go and run and say somebody shot at me because the animal's not going to speak. Would you have gone to jail as well? Probably not. Probably not. So therefore, that contradicts exactly what he is stating to you. So let's keep rolling.
So the deputies rang. They immediately start questioning me. And, hey, I know my Fifth Amendment right. I have the right to remain silent. I didn't feel like I was under the spotlight.
And you didn't feel like you needed to lie.
And I did not. That's correct.
Exactly.
Totally cooperative with them. Then the Sergeant Tanner comes.
Okay.
And
now, is he younger, in your opinion, from Zarang? Or older?
What is this guy doing?
He probably jumped in the lane early. That's okay. We'll keep rolling.
Okay.
I'll cut that out.
So, I ask them, they start mentioning aggravated assault with deadly weapon. I'm like, whoops.
Wait a minute.
No.
So let me get this right. Zarang is there, Tanner's arrived, and Tanner's coming to speak to you. And we're not going to talk to the caller, which are you guys, by the way. The caller of the initial 911 call.
Correct.
We're not going to ask the questions of the event that happened. I'm going to come without any investigation, any reasonable articulation of a crime, and I'm going to say, what to you, sir? What did he tell you?
Looks like we're going to have to charge you with aggravated assault. That's a felony. Now look,
Wow.
I remind the guy. Of course, he knows. Do you realize that's felony? That picks up all my guns.
Correct.
That denies my right to vote, and that gets me fired from my job.
And you can't hunt and fish. You can't go to your child's house if he got a firearm. You can't do much of nothing.
And I said, time out.
Right.
We got to really think about this. Do you realize what y'all are fixing to do?
Right.
And what about the trespassers? What were they doing trying to get in my truck? Has anybody asked him, oh, wait a minute. I didn't know it at the time, but apparently it had political connection.
Okay.
Apparently they knew all the deputies responding to his house. There were like 5 sets of police cars.
Mm-hmm. So at the point, not to cut you off, but at the point, because it's such a pivotal point, at the point that Tanner is bringing this information to the table, this is where the dereliction of duty under the color law began, right there.
Yeah.
And folks, I'm just saying that because Mr. Scott is explaining it in real time. But the bottom line is that in that moment, without a proper investigation of any accord, even from the caller, which was Mr. Scott and his wife, how can we delude these things? That right there is a constitutional loss. So I'm going to claim that for 17 Days Audits America. Tanner, we're going to have to get a complaint put in on you because the people do not like what we're hearing. Okay, Mr. Scott, keep going.
So when they started this, I said, guys, do you have a supervisor? Can we at least contact the supervisor?
Perfect.
Can you call the sheriff? Not a response. He's sleeping. This smart aleck response.
It's outside of policy too, Mr.
Right.
Scott. They have to do, when you request, they must contact a supervisor or a chief watch commander.
Right. And the highest rank they had on duty was a sergeant.
Okay.
Which was a Sergeant Tanner.
Okay.
And I knew, this guy wasn't making a good call. He was letting his personal feelings get in this event.
Cut. And